something big is happening behind the scenes at Newcastle United. There are quiet moves, discreet conversations, and inquiries that could change the club's fate next season. Passionate fans, get ready. The club's scouts are keeping an eye on a name that has been dominating headlines across Europe, a true rising talent who, if confirmed, could turn the Magpies' attack into one of the deadliest in the Premier League. But hold on, it's not time to reveal who yet. While European football giants compete with million-pound proposals, Newcastle seems determined to face off with the continent's biggest clubs, and this says a lot about what the board has planned. There's a clear sign that Eddie Howe's project is far from conservative. On the contrary, it's a bold and ambitious approach aiming to return the Magpies to the elite of European football as soon as possible. If you love Newcastle and want to stay updated on everything, including those behind-the-scenes negotiations the mainstream media often misses, subscribe to the channel now. It helps our work immensely and ensures you get the hottest updates directly from the source. Here's where you'll get the rumors, contacts, conversations, and of course, the confirmations first. And today's story could be one of the biggest of the transfer window. The main question circulating around St. James Park is, does Newcastle really have the power to compete with clubs like Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City for such a highly sought-after talent? And more, is the player in question truly willing to wear the black and white shirt? These are questions worth paying attention to, because what's at stake is not just a signing, it's a statement of power in the market. Now, the big reveal. According to journalist Graham Bailey, who specializes in transfers and has reliable sources within English clubs, Newcastle United has directly contacted the representatives of Nico Williams, a 21-year-old winger who has been shining for Athletic Bilbao. We're talking about a player who, today, is considered by many experts to be one of the best in his position across Europe. The source of the news, published on the TBR football website, reveals that the Magpies are among the Premier League clubs that have officially started negotiations. Nico Williams is no ordinary name. With 11 goals and 7 assists in 44 matches this season, he has been one of the key players in Bilbao's success, with the club currently sitting in 4th place in La Liga. This means the Spanish side is very close to securing a place in next season's Champions League, a factor that could weigh heavily in the player's final decision. His contract runs until June 2027, but there's a release clause of £50 million, making a transfer viable for financially strong clubs. Despite Newcastle's interest, it's important to note that Chelsea and Arsenal are currently ahead in the race for his signing. Still, the fact that Newcastle has made the first contact shows the club is not just watching from the sidelines, it's acting, planning, and trying to surprise. And let's not forget, Nico Williams has already expressed interest in playing in the Premier League, which makes this move even more promising for the Magpies. If Athletic Bilbao secures a Champions League spot, Nico may choose to stay for another season at his current club. But if that doesn't happen, the situation changes completely and Newcastle could become a very attractive option, especially if they offer the promise of immediate prominence and a solid sporting project, with real ambitions to get back to the top of the Premier League table. Speaking of plans, the Magpies' offensive line needs renewal. Since Miguel Almiron's departure to Atlanta United in January, the team hasn't found a suitable replacement. Additionally, Callum Wilson is expected to part ways with the club soon, as his contract expires next month, and a renewal seems unlikely. This opens up space not just for reinforcements, but for starting players, and Nico Williams could take on that role with authority. If you've made it this far, it's clear that you truly love Newcastle and want to see the club back among the big names in Europe. So don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and leave a comment about what you think of this potential signing. Do you believe Nico Williams could be the perfect player to lead the Magpies' new attack? Or should the club focus on more experienced names? Your opinion is crucial to enrich this debate. In any case, one thing is for sure, Newcastle is making moves, and it's no coincidence. The transfer window promises intense emotions, and this contact with Nico Williams is just the beginning. Stay tuned here, because in the coming weeks, we'll bring more exclusive updates about this negotiation and many other targets being analyzed by the board. The season may have just ended, but the off-field game has already begun, and Newcastle is ready to play hard.